100%. That is when things start to align. And through the business that she and I have done together, my big lesson more solidify within me that don't ask how it's going to happen. Just have that within yourself. This is what I want. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, and it doesn't matter what it's going to take, but I know it's there somewhere, and I will find. And why? Because I'm worthy. I am worthy too. I mean, other people have done it. Other people have done it. So I do have so many examples, Kelly, so many examples in front of me that I cannot deny the possibility.
Welcome, fellow entrepreneurs and goal getters, to Entrepreneurial Elevation, Unleashing Greatness Within, with myself, your host, Kelly Beveridge, and my dear friend and special guest today, Njeri Kamere. I'm so excited to introduce her. And before I do, I'm just going to read a quick message from my sponsors, which I'm super excited to introduce as well. So if you're a coach looking to elevate your practice, Coach Core is your all-in-one solution. Imagine having everything you need to grow your business in one place, from housing your courses and managing memberships to running email campaigns and creating stunning websites. Coach Core makes it all possible with their easy-to-use platform. But Coach Core is more than just a software. They offer built-in coaching and mentorship, guiding you on how to implement best practices from NLP practitioners, marketing agency owners, and funnel specialists. With Coach Core, you'll have the tools and support you need to take your coaching business to the next level. I've seen firsthand the difference that having the right tools and support can make for entrepreneurs and coaches alike. That's why I'm thrilled to have Coach Core as a sponsor of the Entrepreneurial Elevation podcast. Their commitment to helping coaches succeed aligns perfectly with our mission to inspire and elevate entrepreneurs worldwide. So if you're ready to transform your coaching business, visit coachcore.ca and start your journey to success today. That's coachcore.ca, your path to coaching success. So thanks, Coach Core. So yes, let's dive in. And so I have somebody who's very near and dear to my heart on the podcast today. I met her about 7 years ago when I was in South Africa by myself, looking to build my business and meeting up with like-minded women entrepreneurs. And that's when I came across Njeri and just knew that she was a special person and a special soul. And everything, I believe, happens for a reason. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of vision and having that be your anchor or your lighthouse. And I think both of us came into each other's lives and were somebody who catapulted our visions forward. And that's why Njeri will always just be somebody so special to me. I lived with Njeri. Njeri is originally from Kenya. She lived in South Africa for about 20 plus years, and now she's living in the United States, which was always a big part of her vision. She's a mom of 4. She's recently remarried, which is super exciting. She deserves that so much. She's a global entrepreneur. She's in the network marketing business. She's built a global business. She has a bee farm and a fruit farm back in Kenya, amongst a few other things on the go. And she's just a force to be reckoned with. She's just such a kind person. And I'm just so happy to see her being successful, living out her vision, and having her on the podcast today. And so, Njeri, just welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And oh my gosh, thank you for such a great intro to me.
Of course. You know how much I love you.
Yes.
So you're just so special to me. And Njeri and I've had many experiences together. Maybe we'll share some of them throughout the podcast. Yet we have gone through the building a business in the trenches together, all the obstacles and adversities, and going through COVID, and then coming out the other side with a lot of highs and blessings and fun experiences together. But Njeri, I want to talk about your journey. And let's go back to the beginning. I know your parents were entrepreneurs. And so what I want to know is, like, when did this entrepreneurial vision and spirit get into your bones? And did that happen because your parents were entrepreneurs, or else just take us back to when you first knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur and started to have this vision for yourself?
Indeed, I grew up in an entrepreneurial home. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad was a professional. But I did see them build things from nothing. I saw my mom, who was actually very minimally educated, which is so strange to think in this day and age, but she didn't get an education at all. But her business mind was so sharp. And I saw her build property all over the city of Nairobi. I saw her farm and create an income out of farming in the export industry. And so growing up, I didn't know any other way of living. I thought that you grow up and you just become an entrepreneur. And I also didn't see a lot of that happening around in Nairobi, where grew up, and in Kenya generally, that everybody is an entrepreneur. Kids in school selling stuff, sweet. So it was not an unusual thing for me to see and to experience. So it was just there. It was always there at the back of my being, right? So growing up, I've grown up that way. I did come to school in Canada. Actually, I came to school in Canada in Guelph, Ontario, Guelph. I was there for 4 years, 4 years going on to 5. And then I went back home to Kenya, only to realize that the dream I had about employment and all of that was not really going to happen the way I thought. And I defaulted into trading very quickly, trading of goods, trading of shoes. I would import shoes from the States, from UAE, and sell from my house. So when I finally put up my employment book and said, this I'm not comfortable with, I can't do this, I went much deeper into importing stuff and selling stuff my house. So informal sector in Kenya at some point, especially when I was growing up, was much bigger than the formal sector and a bigger money generator for the country than the informal sector. So it was no big deal about what you're educated and you're doing business. Yeah, that's why I'm educated, because I need to do business. And my degree was in economics and in business administration. It was very commonplace. All of us, we are born 6 of us in the womb, and all of us are doing one thing and another, you know. And then parents continued, and they are now late, but they have left an empire worth billions of shit just from the venturing out into this and that, property, farming, ventures. My dad, as much as he was a professional, he was an advocate and export. He was very much an entrepreneur. So my mom would bring the ideas and he would back it up with the finances, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
yes, that's where it was a no-brainer for me. I didn't even hesitate to jump into.
Yeah.
No.
I love that. I love your story. And I love that you grew up in this family where it was just the way that it is. And I believe our environment shapes us, right? And so you saw it. You saw your parents doing it. You saw your community doing it. I always say Africa is like the most entrepreneurial place I've ever been. People literally have goggles on of where's their opportunity, right? Where's their opportunity? And I know your story enough to know that you did have employment for a while and it was at the banks.
Yeah.
And you always like to say, I didn't like being on that side of the counter, taking people's money, right? I wanted to be on the other side of the counter, giving people my money. And so, going into the later life of starting to really dig into your journey with entrepreneurship, what was your vision, Njeri? Like, how did you all of a sudden have this vision? Because when I met you, you had a vision of wanting to be a global entrepreneur and living in North America. And I know that had been your vision for quite some time. Did that happen because you went to Canada and you saw that, hey, this is where I want to be? Like, when did you adopt your vision and what was it?
Right. So I have a gap of time in my life, Kelly, called marriage. I got married, my first marriage, and that didn't go well. It was through him that we ended up in South Africa, which I am so grateful, because that's how I now came to meet you. And so that gap of time there in the dark, literally in the dark, I still kept fighting, looking for opportunities. What can I do while I'm in South Africa? But of course, like most businesses, you'd need capital, and that would cut my feet off immediately. So What can I do? Where can I be useful? Where can I create money? But that was not going to happen with him. It wasn't going to happen with him just because of his own control issues and everything else. But God bless him anyway, because the vision inside of me didn't die. So fast forward, when I met you, I had just gone through the divorce. And I'm sitting down thinking, wait a minute. Children and women suffer the most in a situation like I had gone through, not knowing where to put the next step. How do I get myself together? I now have 4 kids. Depending on me, what am I going to do finance-wise? And I do remember praying. I am a believer. And I do remember praying and saying, dear God, put a tool in my hand that I would be able to empower women and children. Now, the funny thing is, when I look back through that whole drama in my life, not for a moment within me did I feel incapable of creating something for myself. That was never a question for me. It was just an issue of where is the opportunity. Yes, you came to me the first time. I didn't quite see it because I was so done with network marketing. But second time round, when I had a look, I reached out to you and I said, hey, Kelly, and I must say that the biggest attraction for me to reach out to you, number one, you are from Canada. I could trust you because I had a really good experience with my academic life and my life in Canada in general. I knew I could trust you. And number two, you told me that you would show me what to do. That was it. That did it for me. And the journey has been great and the vision has remained there. So when I did meet you, yes, at the time when I met you, by the way, I was reaching out to you to ask you, now, how can I come to Canada? What are the opportunities?
And I'm like, no, we're going to stay here and we're going to build a business in South Africa together first.
Yeah, exactly. And then I thought, wait, what? And I said, no, that's not what I have in mind. But anyway, let's do the business. And for me, yes, okay, business first, because that is going to help me put the money together. And then I can go Canada.
Absolutely. Well, funny.
Right?
But Njeri, okay, let's stop here for a sec because you shared a lot there. And that's like about, I don't know, 15 years worth that you just shared there, right? So you get married, you have 4 children, you have a vision, you want to be an entrepreneur, you've dabbled in entrepreneurship, you're capable, you just haven't found the right vehicle to be in for yourself. Yet your vision, I would say, let's put it this way, the light of your vision gets dimmed because of your relationship, which wasn't healthy, which was abusive, which really did a number on your self-worth and your self-esteem, I know. Yet you had the courage to get out of it for the sake of your vision, for the sake of yourself, for the sake of kids. And then you find yourself in a space of, okay, I got through that. And I want to share that because I'm sure there's a lot of women or people, men too, on this call where they've gone through something similar and your vision is there, yet you lose sight of it, right? You lose sight of it because what's going on personally in your life, which we all have a story, I'm sure, not one of that in relationships, yet something that has caused us to lose sight of our vision. And so I just want to say that's okay. And the cool thing is, and the important thing is that you find your way back somehow. So my question for you is, what did you do or how did you start to climb yourself out of that and realign with your vision during that dark time?
The minute I decided, okay, that's it, I am filing for the divorce. This is in 2010. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I have no idea what I'm going to come across. All I know is that I'm still alive. I have children and I need to take care of my kids. And as long as somebody is alive, there's always hope. There's always hope. At that point, it was like putting on my big girl panties because I had been completely incapacitated in the situation that I was in. And so the only thing that kept me alive was, I don't know, I think I was in a bubble, Kenny. I was in a bubble of hope and a bubble of trusting the future that I will find what I need to do and I will get create a better life for myself and my children. Hope. It was hope. Hope against hope. I walked out of that marriage with nothing but the clothes on my back and 4 kids, and decided, you know what? There's always something. There will be something for me. And the one thing is that I wasn't created for this. I felt like I was living somebody else's life, not mine. That was not my life. And I knew that that life was somewhere out there for me. I just didn't know how it would appear, for me, what it would look like for me. And I just kept that in here. I just kept that in here,
In
and
your
I
heart.
in my heart. And I said, you know what? The same mind that put together everything that we had accumulated together in that marriage, which was quite substantial, Kenny. The same mind, it was my mind that put it together, and my effort and my time that put it together. This hasn't been affected at all. Neither has my heart been affected at all. And I can still do it again. And for the first time, I haven't shared this bit with you, but for the first time, it's only now that I'm looking and thinking, oh, wait a minute, I'm now 58. I have never in my life stopped to think before now that, wait a minute, how much time do I have left? I always felt like time was going to be there for me to do everything. Even now, I still stand in that same place that I have enough time to do everything that I want to do in this life.
I love that, Jerry, because most people
Yeah.
don't operate from that mindset. So that's such a great message, right? Like time isn't running out. That's normally what we hear, right? It's like, no, you have an abundance of time
Yeah.
and operate from that space of now, what are you going to go and do with it?
There you go. What will I do? And I can. So if it means that I'm here until I'm 200 years old, I will be here. And because I need to do what I need.
Right. Well, you
Yeah.
know what, Jerry, though, your
Mm.
story is so powerful because you came out of a really hard situation and you rebuilt yourself back because of that hope. You said hope and having faith,
Yeah.
right? Trusting that everything will work out for you,
Yeah.
believing in yourself that you are capable.
Mhm.
It was just finding the right tool, the right people, the right community. And so, for anybody who's listening, if you are in a dark space, just know that there is hope and things can change, right? Things can change through choice and through making decisions. And I believe when you have that vision and you're just getting up every day and putting one step in front of the other, the tools, the opportunities will align. And then it's just really important that you're open to them so that you see them. And like you said, for example, you and I met, and I know that's when a lot of things changed, not because of me, but because of the tool I had that then allowed you to build a global business and be a springboard to start traveling globally again, realigning your vision that you can live abroad and taking your family with you to the United States. And I think that when you're open to the opportunities, they do show up. They do show up, right? You might not see them right in the beginning. And so going back to the importance of vision, I always like to say vision is like setting your intention. And as long as your intention is 100% solid, the how to will find its way. And so can you talk about that? Talk about just the importance of being resilient and continuing to move forward, because then that is when things start to align.
No, 100%. That is when things start to align. And through the business that she and I have done together, my big lesson more solidify within me that don't ask how it's going to happen. Just have that within yourself. This is what I want. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, and it doesn't matter what it's going to take, but I know it is there somewhere, and I'll find. I will find. And why? Because I'm worthy. I am worthy to. I mean, other people have done it. Other people have done it. So I do have so many examples, Kelly, so many examples in front of me that I cannot deny the possibility. I can't. I can't deny that, oh, those are just fairy tales. No, it can happen for them. It happen for them. It can happen for me. And so I just need to put myself in the correct and you and I, you are a result of your environment, or you are a, what the other word is like to always say, you are not a result, but I forget the word escaped me, but your environment is so important. like the soil with the farming that I'm doing, I have to be cognizant of what kind of soil I have and make sure that I'm putting in the correct input in that soil. So for me to constantly put myself, even when I cannot see another day, put myself in that bubble, put myself in that environment and protect my environment, hearing what I'm listening to every day, what I'm seeing, and therefore what I'm thinking to make sure that I get to where I want to go to. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with you so much. And I didn't realize in the past how important our environment is and how it shapes us. And that's a key piece to our journey towards our vision is who do we surround ourselves with? And are we in an environment that elevates us? Because you and I both know the book Willpower Doesn't Work. When we're in an environment where the odds are against us, we have to work twice as hard to go towards the direction of our goals and our dreams. And so really taking a look at our environment. And that's not always an easy thing to do because it means we have to let go of people. We've got to go and find other people that serve us. There's got to be some sacrifice within there, yet the blessing and the gain is so much bigger, right? It's so worth it. And, Njeri, speaking of that, right? So you and I met, I believe you found that environment you were talking about within the community of personal development and leadership and mentorship and just a lot of the people you and I had the blessing of surrounding ourselves with, multimillionaires who were philanthropists, who had lovely families, who did things for the right reasons, who led from their heart. And I always pinch myself that we had the ability to learn, right, from people who had what we wanted in that way with integrity. And so talk a little bit about your journey though, because we met and you were still in South Africa. And you didn't move to the States for another 6 or 7 years. And it's not like it was smooth sailing. It's not like because you found the tool you were looking for, the how-to, that it just poof, happened overnight, right? So talk about some of the obstacles that you went through and why you still got up every day and kept going.
Right. I would relive it again, Kelly, if I could. I would relive those 6 years because I feel like they're the years that really, really, really shaped me into what I am right now and pushed me to what I have become. So being in that 18 moment, then COVID comes in. I have a vision in my heart that yes, I will pay finances and I will be able to take care of my children. And I will also find my way to the States or to North America. At the time it was I will find my way to North America. So that's 2018. We start to give a business, and for the first time in my life, I'm traveling all over the country, let alone the globe, the country. South Africa, my kids did more travel than I did on their sports assignment. And then come 2020, and the vision to travel anywhere just flies out the window, and this was only the whole day, 4 days, and they impact the whole year of 2020. However, business shoot up to 100% growth. Oh my God, I couldn't believe what way.
Yeah. During COVID, and that's one of those things too, right? When an obstacle arises, if you look for the solution within it, you're in my business, we took everything online after traveling the country and counting the payment and doing meeting after meeting and event after event. And boom, we take everything online because we had to. And our business skyrocketed.
Oh.
And you and I were like, what? This is what it's all about. And we were doing it because we were able to help people make money from home and from their phone during a time where there was a high need for it, right?
Then come 2021. So, of course, there's nobody traveling anywhere. 2020, 2021, 2022, we start getting a bit bold and we can now travel. So I came into the States because I had wanted to come to one big convention with the company happening here. So when I came in 2022, just sitting and taking it in, all of it in, and having work assignments with another fellow business person in the States. So I traveled quite a bit, throughout all the southern states. And I'm just thinking to myself, wait a minute. So initially I had said to her, okay, I'm only here for 2 weeks and then I'm back to South Africa. Then before the 2 weeks were over, wait a minute, what am I running back there to do? What am I going back there to do? Then I decided, you know what? How about I stay here with you for the next 3 months and see what we could put together. So my marker was 3 months. My visa was 6 months. So by month 3, I thought, wait a minute, what am I actually going? I still have more time here. Let me continue. I was having a lot of fun being in the country. But in those moments, I would sit and think, wait a minute, this place looks so familiar, like the vision I have always carried it. This looks so familiar. This feels so right. This feels like home. No, I'm thinking and I'm hearing the States. Okay, so what's my plan of action? In the meantime, I have a 16, he was 15 at the time, my youngest child, saying to me, Mom, I want to play basketball, want to go professional with basketball. And he gets me thinking, wait a minute, okay, I'm here in the States, let me start looking for schools. Then comes, okay, so how are we going to finance the schools? And how is it going to be here, the minor, and I'm way over there? Oh my goodness. Then I think, oh God, you answering my prayer, fulfilling my vision, and I'm not even aware of it. I'm not even cognizant of what's happening in front of my face. And the more I thought about it, the more it felt right. And my boldness came back to think, wait a minute, the only reason I was in South Africa and our business can continue with or without me in country. And I'm in South Africa by myself. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, fuck you. And I'm here in this apartment by myself because I had moved out of a big war where you and I stayed together. What am I actually doing here by myself? But I have some kids that I don't want to do with me. So then quickly I made up my mind and it was a no-brainer for me. So January 2023, I flew back to South Africa. I was going to wind up everything in South Africa, pack up my bag, and come to America. Now, the thing that happened between January 2023 and May. So I made up my mind I was leaving South Africa by May 5th. I'll never forget. And I had my conversation with God and I said, this is what's going to happen.
I love that. You made a decision though, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened. The universe, God, source, whatever
Yeah.
you're believing will not transpire to support you if you don't truly decide. And
No.
you made a decision
Oh, yeah.
without knowing the answers or the how-to.
Yeah.
Yet that's what puts things in motion.
Precisely. So I get into South Africa. I turn off my vehicle. I start packing my house. Even start packing what was left of my house. And I get my ticket for the 5th. I still have my other property that I need to sell. And I start calling up on agents. And again, we start having traffic going in and out of property. May 4th. May 4th. That week of May 5th, I get a call from an agent that I had dealt with like 5 years now. What the audience needs to realize. I have been trying to sell this house since 2017 and there were no takers. Since 2017, there were no takers. And nothing wrong with the property. Beautiful, beautiful piece of land and house. So much potential to do there. But nobody was taking it. Since 2017, this is 2023. But again, like I said, I decided I'm going to leave this house. God, it's in your hands. You do whatever you want to do with it. I don't take it from rent. However, I do need some lump sum very quickly. But I'm leaving. So agent from 5 years ago calls me and says, hey, do you still have your property? And I say, yes. What? No, I do have a buyer for you. Oh, you do? Yes. Okay, when can you view? On Thursday. I'm flying out to Friday. So he comes through Thursday. He comes through with the buyer on the Thursday, and I come in. By the gate, they've already gone. They look, they come out. He introduces me as the seller. Okay, so you guys can talk. Yeah, there's no need of delaying things or formalities. So what's your offer? And he gives me an offer. Okay. And I said, no, I can't take that home and think about what you're talking about.
Love it.
Go and think about what you say to me. But he laughs his head off and he says, okay, tomorrow morning, early. And the agent was that. And I say to him, listen, I will be leaving by 9 a.m. I need to be out of this city. I need to be at the airport. Will you follow me there? No, he'll find you before you go. 8 a.m. He was there at my doorstep. I looked at the offer. I still don't like it. And I folded it out, put it in folder. He asked me, aren't you signing it? I said, no, I don't like what you're offering me. And who knows? Maybe 2-3 other people will come. Hey. No, sir. He looked at me and believe like, what are you crazy? And yeah, I'm not signing. So he leaves. And in 10 minutes, again, he calls me. Are you still there at the apartment? Okay, we've increased it by another. It would translate to about $20,000. Will you take it? And you have to take it today. And say, yes, of course, I will take it.
I love your story. Njeri, your story is so inspirational though, because like listeners, are you listening to this? So you decide after all these years that you're going to take the leap of faith and move to the United States, right? Everything that you've been through and you've got to sell your house. That's going to be the thing. You have no money. You book a one-way ticket. You've got to find a place for your kid to go to school. You've got to be able to pay for it. You've got to be able to find money for you to live. All of these things, you did not have the solution, yet you were trusting. You have a house that you can sell that finally starts to budge. And still, you didn't lower your value or your worth or your standard because you were in need. Like you didn't come from desperation. You still held strong. And look at what happened. And the day that you're flying out, you get the solution to what your prayers are and they get answered. And like you and I both love this saying from Hal Elrod, unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles. And your story could not hold more true to that statement of unwavering faith. You took extraordinary action because most people say, I'll move once I have it figured out. I'll move once I have the money. I'll do that once I know the A, B, C, D, and E, my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. Therefore, what happens is people never move or they never take the leap because they're stuck in their mind. They're stuck in not having the solution. They're stuck. Yet where you figure everything out is by taking the steps, being in action, by taking the move. And that's the extraordinary effort. And then that's where the miracles happen. And Njeri, your story is such a prime example of that. I love hearing it. It gets me excited. And so you're on the plane, you've sold your house, and you're on your way to living your dream in the U.S.
Yes. So I drop into Nairobi because that's where my son is. Did I walk out of South Africa with seal? I couldn't believe it myself.
And by the way, the obstacles weren't over yet. You still had to go to Kenya and you didn't have legal guardianship yet of your son.
No.
The one who wanted to come and play basketball, yet you had decided it was happening. So you still had to go through trials and tribulations. And so maybe don't necessarily speak to the story of that, but speak to the faith and courage it takes to move forward in your life when you don't have the answers.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. The faith and courage, you have to, because it's for you. And it doesn't matter how many doors you have to knock on. Like, we knocked on so many doors in my life. And every single time, get up again and then keep going the next day. Because I honestly, truly believe that every day brings you a new blessing. You know, so get up and start again. So yesterday's history. We are not talking about that today. So I got into Nairobi and I'm faced with many and big obstacles. Phones are dropped on me. I call it, this is a situation. Are you going to? And dropped again. I'm called names. I've gone through everything. And finally they realize, no, she's not budging. She's hell-bent on what she wants. And that's how you get it. It is by force. Sometimes it's by force. And yet maintaining your grace. I don't get violent. I'm the violent. But within me, there's enough grace to continue pursuing. There's enough grace to continue pushing, continue
You have
pushing.
certainty. You have certainty that what you want
Yes,
matters.
exactly, exactly. That what I want matters, and that is what will give me satisfaction. And until I do, and so long as I'm not infringing on anybody else's space, it's my space. So I can play here. It's my space. I can play. I have permission. And I don't need any human being permission to play. This is my space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody they have a vision yet they've lost sight of it, and maybe they're on this call and they're listening? What are some things people can do to regain their faith in themselves and the things they want and where they're going?
So it's going back to your heart. Going back to your heart. Why did you want what you wanted then? What changed? And sometimes, Kelly, and many times, Kelly, does help to remove yourself from, even physically, from that environment. It helps. Because I believe that if I remained in South Africa, I never traveled to the US, the vision wouldn't come together.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wouldn't have come together. It would have just been another story in my head of what could have been. So sometimes it helps remove yourself physically from that environment, going to another environment, because that environment causes you to start thinking differently, to start wiring your brain differently. And you start seeing things differently. You start seeing opportunities different. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Great advice. It's so true. And it's almost like just get yourself out of your comfort zone. Like, it's so hard to see the way in the same environment or situation, or they say you can't find a solution with the same mindset that created the problem. So go get yourself into a different environment around different people, open yourself up to what's possible. And that requires leaving our comfort zones,
Yes.
you know? And so, Njeri, so just to start wrapping up, so now here you are, I'm sitting here talking to you while you're in the US, you've been there for a year, you're recently remarried to this amazing man who just is treating you like gold. And your son is in the US, he's playing basketball there, right? In a school.
Yeah.
Your other son is going to school in the US. Your other kiddos are finishing up what they're doing in Kenya. And it's like your vision, you're living it. And it gives me goosebumps. And I'm just so proud of you. And so I have a few questions. What would you say now would be your version of success after all of this?
My version of success is not even the amount of money that has in the bank. My version of success is chasing after you till they come true. That's my version of success. Yeah. Just keep chasing. Get up every day, after yourself. You know, there's so much to give. I feel that I still have so much to give still in my life. And to change somebody else's lives. Yes, there's light right here.
To chase your dreams still, get up every day and work towards your dreams.
Yeah.
And then also incorporate having it be impacting other people's lives in some way.
I think that's the most important.
Yeah. Oh, Njeri, that's so special. And piggyback on that, what would you say would be 3 things that you would guide people to do to unleash their greatness within?
Yeah. So, for one, your relationship, for me, it's my relationship with God, right? And knowing that He created a God image and He has put the deposit within me. And every human being has those deposits within them for great, right? And you deserve it. Why? Because you are creation of God. Then tip number 2, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you surrounding yourself with? You're the cleverest. If I'm not the cleverest one in the room, I don't want to sit in that room. I want to go to a room where I'm constantly being challenged to raise up my bar. And number 3, what stories are you telling yourself? What stories are you telling yourself? Because you say you think it's up, then you speak it, and sure enough, it
Yeah, I love those. Those are so great, Jerry. And what would you share with the listeners based on your message today, which is so inspiring? Your story is so inspiring, Jerry. What would you share to those who are listening, something they can do this week in their life? What would be an action that they can take?
Mhm. An action they can take is start changing your environment. Start changing your environment. What books are you reading? Are you reading anything? What are you listening to? Are you listening to podcasts? Like I know Kelly put together some really good podcast. Are you listening to that? Start changing that. And that will start elevating you and your vision. And then we engage with your personal vision. We engage with that. Think about it. Take a walk thinking about it or do something that will cause it all to come back. Re-engage. Re-engage with that. And then start making a plan of how to achieve it. Start making a plan of how to achieve it. And then believe that you can do it. But I remember many times I'll be sitting and thinking, it would be nice to earn that kind of money. But maybe it's not for me. So believe it's for you. It is for you.
Oh, I
Why?
love it. What a great note to finish on, right? It is for you. Whatever you want for yourself is meant for you. I love that, Jerry. I just love you to pieces. I'm so grateful we met. You've changed my life. We'll have to have another podcast episode just talking about our journey together because it's been a journey. And you took me under your wing when I came to South Africa and didn't know anybody. And you became you were the first person I met and shared the business with. You're the first real friend I had in South Africa. We've lived together, we've traveled together, we've journeyed together. And it just warms my heart to see you where you're at living this life and just being so happy. And you are larger than life. And there is so much more that you're going to create in your time. I love that message as well, right? There's so much time left to do the things that we want to do. And so, Jerry, just in closing, where can people find you? So if they are like, oh my gosh, this girl's awesome, I want to follow her. Where can people follow you and learn more about you and your businesses and all that good stuff?
Right. So I am on Facebook using my name here, Njeri Kamere. I wear a white shirt. I was probably 10 kilos lighter. I am still working to get there. And that's also my Instagram handle. So Njeri Kamere with what's the lower
Underscore. So NJ, so her name is spelled NJERI _KAMERE. That's her
Instagram. And my cell phone number here, which is also WhatsApp, or that's 1-984-683-3320. 984-683-3320.
I love it. Jerry, I'll put that information in our show notes so that people can reach out to you. I love you gave your number. So girls and guys, reach out to Jerry. And Jerry, just thanks for being here. I'm excited to come to the States whenever you decide to have the physical wedding and be there and celebrate you and cheer you on and give you a hug in person again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. And indeed, you are the person who changed my life. And I do appreciate it. Also, so grateful for you, Kelly, and all the lessons you've taught me too. Thank you for the friendship too. I do appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, right back at you. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely loved having Njeri on. It just brings back such fond memories of her and I living together and building a business together in South Africa, traveling all throughout South Africa. You can imagine the stories we have of triumph and also adversity and what we overcame. I could write a book about that chapter of my life. And so just love having Njeri on and seeing her living her vision. And for all of you out there, I hope this episode gave you inspiration that you're still on your way towards the things that you desire. Even if sometimes it doesn't quite look like it, we just need to course correct, right? Take a look at where we're at, realign, and keep on moving forward towards our worthy goals. And so it's just so important to have a vision in the first place. And I forget who said it, yet there's that saying that sometimes we overestimate what we can do in a short period of time, and we underestimate what we can do in a long period of time. And that's why a vision is so important. because it's that magnetic pull towards the bigger picture of our desires and what we want. And one day, just like Njeri, you may wake up and be in your vision, living your vision. And that is my hope for all of you. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, head over and like and comment and leave a review, and just have a great day. And thanks for listening. With love, greatness, and success, it's your host, Kelly Beveridge.